Yo, it's Awesomeisjayell, aka the biggest music artist in the universe. And yeah, man, I just got back from the gym. Figured I'd go ahead and make a video real quick, chopping it up with y'all today about the new age we are in and what it actually requires of you, right? Um, you definitely can't do like the old world. The old world is, working a 9 to 5, going to work, coming home, not doing nothing, not having energy to do nothing. If you're a parent, uh, you go to work, come back home, you tired, drop your kid, you go pick your kids up from daycare, you get them a Happy Meal or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, them days is over with. When I say they're over with, they are over with, right? So everything is going to take an extreme level of sovereignty now, right? Extreme level of sovereignty. Um, Now, another thing too, you got to use your gifts from the Most High, right? You can't depend on these other outside sources to provide you with resources. You're going to have to be connected and tethered to source. There's plenty of movies to talk about this, but I ain't going to, name the movies. But there's plenty of movies to talk about this that have been foreshadowing this time for a long time, right? For a long time. Now we're actually there, right? There's a many of books that talk about this too as well. But now we are here, right? It's time for you to actually receive resources from being yourself, being who you truly are. Now, one of the things is, right, a lot of people been in such a mundane loop for such a long time that they don't know how to be themselves, right? They're in this searching mode. I'm gonna call it searching mode, right? I'm gonna use an example. You know how like when you trying to sync remote control up to a TV or something like that, or a video game controller up to a computer or a gaming console, right? And you press that sync button and it lights up. Or when you're trying to sync a Bluetooth, right? And it just sits there and it blinks until it connects to whatever source it needs to connect to. This is what everyone needs to do. It's the same process. You got to sync back up to source, the Most High, to receive who you truly are in your fullness and in your wholeness. And once you do that, then everything will flow like water, right? It'll flow like water. You will then not overthink. You won't overthink what it is you got to do, or man, what am I supposed to do? You won't have those type of thoughts. Everything will just flow. You know what I'm saying? It'll flow. Nothing is hard. Everything is easy. If y'all ever seen the movie with MJ, they say ease on down the road, right? So that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to ease on down the road. It's not supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be easy. See what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people got it misconstrued. And a lot of people need to break from the old programming or the old world logic that you got to work hard to get resources. You got to work hard. If you don't work hard, if you don't work hard, you're not gonna gain any resources. You're not gonna get this. You're not gonna get that if you work hard. No, no, we off that, man. We off that. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter, right? I always had this. It's so crazy because I always had this type of mentality in an older paradigm in the old world. That's why I like to refer to it as an old world mentality. While everyone was in the work hard mentality in the old world, I always thought to myself, okay, when I move, I want to kill three birds with one stone. You know what I'm saying? I want to kill 3 birds with one stone when I move. And that's just for the metaphor. We're not actually doing nothing to birds. We're not harming birds. But I want to make 3 moves with 1 step. Okay, that's a better analogy. I want to make 3 moves with 1 step, right? And what game does that remind you of? That's chess. You know what I mean? You got to think with a chess mindset. And it's funny how people kind of refer to certain moves in political arenas, they'll say, oh, he's playing 5D chess, he's playing 4D chess. Well, you know, this is from what I'm seeing, the circles in the mentalities that, you know, I'm around, that I see. They'll say, oh, he's playing 5D chess, he's playing 4D chess. You know what I mean? That's the type of, you know, things they say. And what they're really saying is making 3 moves with 1 step. That's how you always want to think, right? You always want to think like that, because that cuts out all the extra moves. You ain't got to make no extra moves. If you making 3 moves with 1 step, right? Right now, I'm talking to y'all right now in this video, right? But as I talk to you for this video, this content is going to be repurposed, reshared across multiple social medias, through multiple platforms, and it's gonna get to where it needs to. It's gonna hit the people that it need to hit, right? But I'm just making 1 video. But this 1 video turns into hundreds of videos, right? To reach thousands, hundreds of thousands of millions of people. You see what I'm saying? That's 3 moves in 1 step. So when you adopt that mentality, and this new earth will be a breeze for you. I promise you, it'll be a breeze. It'll be a breeze, and then you will stop thinking so hard and working so hard and missing steps for no reason. You ain't got to miss steps. You just got to sit still and let it come to you, right? And let me go back to the indoctrination of the system, right? The indoctrination teaches you, instead of connecting the source, they want you to connect to the machine, right? And that's what the story, the man versus the machine, is about. That's what the band, I ain't gonna name no bands because you know how they doing here. But the man versus the machine, that's what it's about. You want to link, you want to connect to source, not the machine, right? And that's another thing too. I want to break that down too, because a lot of people can get it misconstrued, because I see a lot of people get it misconstrued online. I see a lot of people having problems with AI and the problem with this new regime that AI is taking over all the jobs. That's what it's here to do, right? That's what it's here to do. Why is it here to do that? It's here to do that so that you can be empowered and have your sovereignty to do what you're supposed to do. And what you think you're supposed to do that you're doing is not what you're supposed to be doing. See what I'm saying? Because if you can be replaced by AI, then you are not being your true multidimensional self, right? You got to be multidimensional. You got to have interests. You got to have hobbies. You got to have passions, right? AI don't have passions. AI don't have a heart. AI don't have a soul, right? So these are the spiritual faculties that you got to operate in. You know, even when you're doing your favorite things, and you're doing your passions, when you're doing your hobbies, when you're creating things, right? You have to do that, right? And while you're doing that, you can actually use AI as a tool, right? Why can you use AI as a tool? Because when you're using the spiritual faculties, you are being guided by source, right? Because you're connected to source. So when you're connected to source, you can use your spiritual faculties to power up all the physical faculties on the earth realm, right? So that's why AI was put here. So you don't have to do the mundane things like come up with a title for a video, like figure out what you need to put in descriptions, figure out, you know what I'm saying? You let the AI handle the mundane stuff. And then you let the AI handle the mundane stuff. And then you focus on all the spiritual stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Man, like I said, it's a lot of movies. I see, I gotta say that every time, because I always think of movies. I think of movies every time, because they've been saying this in so many words the whole time. But people are paying attention, but it's a lot that's not, you know what I'm saying? But let's focus on the people that's paying attention and the people that want to, you know, learn this information and this knowledge. But yeah, that's the video for today. I wanted to go ahead and jump into that real quick, man. That's loaded. It's a loaded topic. I see a lot of people online on certain platforms when people use AI out in the open publicly, because certain platforms you can actually do that. I see a group of people just, no, why are you using that? It's making humanity dumber. It's making this and this and that and this, right? What it's actually doing is actually making humanity evolve so that you won't have to stress and work so hard and be tired out and drained and be void of inspiration, right? So if you set the AI on a path, don't forget this. We actually tell the AI what to do. We make commands. They're called command prompts for a reason. We give commands, right? That means that you're the boss. You're the boss. No one else is the boss. You're the boss. But I think a lot of people are having trouble envisioning themselves as the boss or the leader to give commands, because you have to actually be in tune, in alignment with yourself and source in order for you to make any kind of commands. That means you gotta be, and that's what I'm saying, right? So, because when you connect to the source, you know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what path you're on. You know exactly, what you're doing it for, right? Because a lot of this really revolves around purpose. If you're doing things without purpose, then you're wasting steps. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about wasting steps. You want to make 3 moves in 1 step. That should be the name of this video. Make 3 moves in 1 step. It's going to be one of the names of one of the videos, because like I said, it's going to turn into hundreds of videos. You know what I'm saying? But this is a 5D consciousness upgrade on the planet. This is the new way of thinking in life going forward. You either embrace it or get left behind. Like I said, people, please don't demonize and please don't fearmonger about AI. Please don't fearmonger about technology upgrades and all these different things are going to be happening. Now you got self-driving cars. You got all these. You got self-driving cars. You got drones delivering food. You got drones delivering packages. Please don't demonize this stuff, because you can't. It's not even about stopping it. It's about learning the knowledge and the information about why these things are happening and how it benefits humanity. That's really what it's about. So get in your bag and figure out why, and then move accordingly. Sync up to source, get in alignment with your purpose, get rid of everything that does not serve you, and move in that direction. That is the direction you want to be moving in, because these are them times. It's the times. And y'all can read between the lines of that. These are them times, right? These them times. I mean, pretend like it's not. You can do whatever you want to do to cope, to make believe that it's not. Because I see a lot of people trying to turn a blind eye and, oh yeah, everything's okay. I'm going to just go to the party. I'm going to just go to a bar. I'm going to just go here. I'm going to just do that. And I'm not saying that I'm not doing things. What I'm saying is, in the front of my mind, I know what's going on. That these are them times, right? If these are them times, what am I doing to put myself in alignment with source, with my purpose in all this going on? What am I doing to make 3 moves in 1 step at all times? Every time I do something, I want to make 3 moves with 1 step, right? So, but yeah, that's it for this video. You know I got to do the intro for the outro. Yo, it's Awesomeisjayell, aka the biggest music artist in the universe. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe, and we are signing out. Peace.